We're gathered here because of Prabhupada. We know each other because of Prabhupada. This building is here because of Prabhupada. And we talked about the vision of this building before it even manifested. We talked about in Bombay to have a library that would cross-reference spiritual knowledge, and possibly a diorama museum. And Prabhupada first talked to me in 1967 about coming to India, especially Vrindavan, but India in general. So now London was successful, very successful. So Prabhupada said, now you go to India, and we went with 17, and they were the creme de la creme of different temples, and Prabhupada put me in charge of the party, and we went on a 2-engine airline with a blanket separating the passengers and the cockpit, and there are people there with goats, and Giriraj was there. It's a very interesting story, but I get to Mother India, and immediately as the door opened, I felt a hot breeze come into the airplane, but it was like a breeze of caressing from a softer mother than the hard father, violent father of the place I came from. Some people come to India and it's so strange and so exotic that they go back immediately. I thought we should have a storefront temple at American Express offices for the Westerners that were so overwhelmed, and they say, "Mommy, send me some money," and we could have offered them some prasadam and invited them in. It was an idea. So we get to Mother India, and we get to Bombay. And we're met by this man, Kailash Saksariya, and he had a fedora hat and Western clothes. He looked like a detective. So I said, "Where's your identification?" And he hands me a telegram, "Gurudas, American in charge. Go with this man." So he takes 17 of us in cars to his place on Marine Drive, a 5-story place. And I'm seeing India, and I'm seeing cows and people drying dal. One time we're driving with Prabhupada, because I was wondering, now in India it seems like the horn is more important than the motor. Why are people honking all the time out there? Well, I realized why it was. One time the horn breaks, I'm with Prabhupada. Before, people just gravitate to the side of the road. Womp, womp, cows, dalwalas, walla wallas. Prabhupada says, "Give me my tali and my cane." Bang, 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 out the window. People are gravitating, the cows, the dalwalas, the walla wallas. So Prabhupada laughs, and he says, they will think it's an American invention and try to imitate. So it's always fun to be with Prabhupada, as we were talking. So now we're in Bombay, and we go out on Harinam to Kalpa Devi. Now we were living on Marine Drive, and Kailash sent his servants with livery costumes and Nimbupani in silver pitchers, while Vishnu, John, and Dinanath are doing, and Jamuna, and we're doing kirtan in Kalpadevi. So they thought, well, this is the American style of Harinam, that there's servants with them that come with Nimbupani. I sent them home. I gave a good talk, Krishna Consciousness 101. Any questions? How much does that watch cost, sir? Okay, now I'm getting an idea of the duality. So, Prabhupada's in Calcutta, and then he comes, and we're reunited again. And Prabhupada asked me to register the society. So I took the foundation, Oreo Binda, the logistics. We can print books, we could distribute books, we can buy property. But this is a lesson in personalism. Prabhupada says, the first line says, the founder Acharya is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We're all living in the Sea Palace Hotel. Mr. Chabia, my friend from London, it's a small hotel in Colaba. The second line, the first line is the founder Acharya is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The second line was, I put in, the founder Acharya shall have full veto power. So Prabhupada says, where's my name? Who's founder Acharya? You? Brahmananda? Brahmananda got zapped 8,000 miles across the sea for felonies he did years ago. I was there. Prabhupada's calling me in the room 5-6 times a day. Hari sorry knows for nothing. Is there pomegranate juice or whatever? Because I didn't have the name, we're in a small hotel, he's giving me the transcendental silent treatment. He's not calling me in, he's not looking at me. He's going down the hall, I get behind the hall, he's coming down the hall, I go like this, he goes down the other hall, he's transcendental, you know, with his head looking in Vaikuntha someplace, not of this world. The guy thought he was a demigod. I said, there's a press conference. It was the weekend. I had to call all Mr. Samaya, all these industrials. The man wanted baksheesh. I never played baksheesh in India. I said, there's a press conference. Do you want me to say that you want baksheesh? You don't know the law. Are you fool number one? He signed the paper. I'm crying before Prabhupada. I don't want to be founder Acharya. He says, I know, but I could think that. See, he's teaching. So we got it registered, and then we all go to Amritsar. It was delightful. There's so much. I have a short amount of time. All these stories are pieces of the puzzle, and this is the manifestation, and Prabhupada's the ringleader. But on the way back here, in Delhi station, Prabhupada throws me out of the train. He says, get down and see what you can do. Start a temple. I thought I was coming back here. So these stories are great. And I have a book at the book table back there, and there's so many more stories. And I was there at the signing of the land. First we got a place called Akash Ganga. I was left back with Rishi Kumar. Everybody went with Prabhupada to the Kumbh Mela. I felt bad, but there's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the people that are left behind and do service get more spiritual benefit than the people who go to the Tirth. So I got the Akash Ganga, the Milky Way, and we all lived there with Prabhupada, and there's so many great stories. Even one where Prabhupada really zapped this man who was attacking him, and the man became a rumpled person, and Madhavisa and I put him in the hall. So many stories. I just want to tell one more. I believe it was mentioned this morning. I had a meeting, but I think Vishaka and Yadabara mentioned this. But on the way here, in that very strange airplane with two propellers, this is an example of Chaitra Guru, how you follow your intuition for Krishna. So it was the day after President Nasser was assassinated. The whole airport was black with bunting and posters. I had to go in to make sure everybody's bag and baggage was checked. When I came back, Giriraj and the rest of the devotees were chanting on the tarmac near the airplanes. I had a new Super 8 camera. Prabhupada told us to bring equipment. Oh, there's President Nasser. There's black all over the airport. There's the devotees chanting. There's some soldiers with bayonets and drooling mouths and red eyes running towards the devotees. I'm seeing this in the camera. Suddenly, the Radha Bar's got the film. Suddenly, the camera's going all over the place. I get between the soldiers charging and the devotees. Chaitra Guru says, I say, we're singing the praises of President Nasser. So the soldiers turn with their bayonets up in the air and become our guard and say, chant as long as you want. So I say, chant as long as you want, and yes, we're glorified for all these things we did then, but that was then and this is now. And I pray to you to carry on your Krishna consciousness with the same enthusiasm, because we still have work to do to save the world. We are a positive alternative. We do have the answer. Thank you. There are some books, and I'm also doing a care project if you want to find out more. It's a wonderful festival. I feel very much at home here. Thank you.